YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Good morning. How are you? I hope you lot are fine. Now, today is another um, interesting video because that is something that came up on the Discord server last time, where a new player joined and he was posting like he just posted a screenshot of him not even being at rank 50. I think it was at rank 32 or something, and he completed the complete stories. So he's done everything that is under stories, and he did all his sub stories. And yeah, that is just a mistake in my eyes. He did like he's basically destroyed his guaranteed orb sources, well, the easiest orb sources, and that is something I would advise any new player out there not to do. Like, I can understand sometimes you play a game, you just want to progress through the story, but in this case, I'd advise everyone not to finish the stories and the sub-stories. Like, you might as well leave those two for later on when you know like you're way further in the game and you're having your usual weekly, monthly orb sources. Keep them for like a emergency banner. Like say there is like for instance now with 7th anniversary, you know there is gonna be a new meta character coming out. Like leave those sub stories and story missions for those circumstances because you might need to quickly get a lot of orbs. So that is why I would advise definitely everyone leave your stories and your sub stories. Do like a few of the required story missions, and that's it. And that way you're saving yourself a lot of grinding later on in the game. That is one mistake I myself did in the beginning. I've done too much stories and sub stories, but I still have a lot of sub stories and story missions left. And if I could do it different now on this account, I would probably go back and not do none of the stories, just the first or two, three stories, and that's it. And the same goes with leveling up all your characters. Like I'd recommend, like I definitely recommend everyone like save some of your characters. Like let me just go to the characters. So, as you can see, now you can't see nothing. Let's go for level ascending. Now, okay, there is a lot of 3, 4, 5 star characters. Like I have a lot of characters, especially the resurrection characters. I have like I think 30 or 40 resurrection characters at least left that I haven't resurrected. Like resurrection characters, I've done I think almost done none of them. But that is one thing you should be keeping. Keep your characters um, for later instances. Like there is no need maxing out every character that you're not gonna play with just to get the orbs early on. Like I personally would advise you to like leave your characters for like later down the road when you're in the game and you're further in the end game and stuff. Um, to basically utilize them to get quick orbs. Like remember, you get 50 orbs for a 5 star character once reaching level 100, and you get 75 orbs for reaching level 150 with a 6 star character. If that character can be resurrected, you will get another 100, you will get another 75 orbs after reaching level 150 again after you resurrected the character. So that is a lot of orbs, and I can see how that's maybe teasing the one or other person out there, but definitely the smarter thing would be to leave those characters for later on, like when you really need orbs or you desperately needing orbs. Obviously, if it's a character that is a very good link unit or it's a very good character to play with, then definitely max them out by all means. Generally speaking, you can max out all your characters and do all your stories and your sub stories as well, but this is just an advice on how to play the game more smart and be more efficient later on down the road, especially for new players out there. Because I know myself how it is when I start a new game. I always want to finish the story quickly because that's what the game's about, the story. But with Bleach Brave Souls, there are a lot of aspects to the game a lot of different things you can do in the game, and understanding the game is very important because once you hit a certain threshold, you won't be able to get as much orbs as like a new player, for example, who's got all these orb sources still open. Obviously, you still be able to get a lot of orbs. Even as a veteran player who's finished all stories and sub stories, you can always get orbs. There are always orb sources. Like the people who are saying there are no orb sources, I think they need to go back and check the game again because there are a lot of things you can do in order to get orbs at all times. But this is just my advice for new players out there. Definitely save your stories, save your sub stories, save your character, maxing out your characters that you don't need. And there are some events that are basically always there. For example, let's just go into events. For example, your raids, you don't need to be finishing all the raids. I would just do the raids for the characters you need in order to max out the soul tree. And remember, you can get orbs as well of raid characters. So for 4-star characters, you get 35 orbs once reaching max level. For 5-star characters, you get one time only 50 orbs. So bear that in mind. And that is another orb source that you should definitely keep for later on down the road. That is not something you should be like utilizing quickly. I myself have done almost none of these, so that is just my orb sources for when I really need them later on. And yeah, at the moment, I'm not really desperate for orbs, so I'm good on that part. Another orb source that you could leave is, for example, some of these difficult quests that you don't really need to complete. There are some that always stay. These are down at the bottom. And these ones you could do, you can leave. It's up to you, but I personally just leave them because they're never going to be disappearing. So yeah, why not just leave them? And that basically concludes the video today, guys. That is just a quick advice for new players, beginner players out there. Keep your orb sources tight because trust me when I'm saying you will need them later on down the road, especially when a OP end of month banner is coming out or when a certain special event comes, like for example 7th anniversary or the end of the year banners. These two banners are mostly the best characters that are being released in a certain year. So definitely do consider following this advice. And if you like my video, leave a comment, subscribe. Subscribing is free and you can always unsubscribe if you choose to. And apart from that, I wish you all a nice day and yeah, take care of yourselves.